We're gonna do Ask Angel cards and talk about the energies today. Just give me a minute while I get this video set up and shared out and going. If you're just finding me, make sure that you say hi and go ahead and leave a comment and connect with the energies, especially if you're trying to get cards and things like that. We're gonna do Ask Angel cards today. We are going to talk about, you might be feeling a little bit of a full moon hangover vibe. We'll talk about that a little bit, but today is also a powerful galactic activation portal day. So the energies keep coming. We're going to talk about these energies. I did put some posts up on my page and website earlier, just kind of letting you guys know about them. Let's talk galactic activation portal day and what that means. Take a minute for you just to share this video out and give me 1 minute while I'm doing the same. So make sure you guys have left a comment and share this out. I always love these energies. We only have 2 galactic activation portal days this month. Today and the 15th, I believe. So not a lot of them. Next month we go into that Pleiadian portal. We have a few more, I would assume. I didn't really see yet, but so not a ton of them right now. All right, I'll let you guys share this out so we can get started though. All right, so make sure you guys have shared this out and left a comment. So, galactic activation portal days on top of that full moon that we're integrating. A lot of people were saying this morning they felt a little tired. It wouldn't surprise me if you feel a little zapped. And so why is that we would feel a little tired when we're receiving so much energy? It's because our bodies need to integrate it oftentimes. So we're getting blasted with a lot of energy, and sometimes we're needing to kind of integrate it, and because it can kind of unground us if not. I was gonna say makes people go crazy, but right? If they don't, it's like a lot of upgrades very, very fast. So sometimes you might be kind of feeling it on the physical level, and you could be feeling it in all different types of ways. So you might be feeling, it could be normal to feel whether you're feeling super energized and kind of getting things done, or you're feeling a little zapped and sluggish. That can all be normal, just depending on where you're at. We need to remember that there are billions of people on this planet with different frequencies, different levels of where they're at energetically, of how everyone is integrating, processing, and handling the ascension, because these are ascension energies coming into the planet. But we want to tap into these galactic energies. They're amazing for doing healing work, activation work, tapping into those light codes and making them work for us. So even though that pink full moon technically peaked last night, we're kind of doing it right now too. It's still a powerful space for manifestation and kind of putting your intentions out there, but also with this galactic vibe or these galactic energies too, really, really powerful for whether you're trying to connect with your spirit guides. Today's a great space for doing like healings, meditation work, sitting with your thoughts, seeing what comes through. And oftentimes we're really guided or encouraged to get spiritual on these days, by the way, whatever that looks like for you. So lots of upgrades coming in. You can expect lots of DNA activations, lots of light body activations. You'll be feeling it today in particular in your heart chakra and kind of dissolving things that may need it there. You'll be feeling it in your third eye and stuff like that. So, and I know a lot of people are like saying they weren't sleeping right? I'm like, yeah. Okay, that is a thing, by the way. So while we're processing all of this energy, you might be feeling it in different ways and stuff like that. But these energies are amazing for clearing out old timelines, healing things, shifting into higher timelines and stuff like that. Just kind of depends on what you have obviously coming up and going on in your life and with you as to how you're kind of handling the energies and what's, I say, coming up or what's going on in your life too. Lots of galactic energies coming into the planet. Okay, so we're going to do some Ask Angel cards. It's been a minute since I've been live, but we're doing angel cards. Check out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I am an energy healer. I do a ton of healings, clearings, and activations. Clearings, obviously clearing energy, and we're doing a lot of that if we didn't notice. And so we think we're clearing energy. We have a lot of stuff coming up, and so we're needing to clear our energy because it's like we have a lot of repressed emotions and energies and things you're thinking and working through. We're humans, right? coming up like never before, doing this ascension and awakening on planet Earth, because the energies kind of trigger things and bring things to the surface, and this could be old stuff or things you're dealing with now. So energy clearing is amazing at that. Healing is great for healing old wounds, and you know you have a problem or some things going on, and just healing overall on the energy level, and you don't always have to know what's happening. It just is amazing for healing your energy. Activations are great for upgrading and unlocking things and bringing online spiritual gifts and things like that too. So I have all sorts of healings, clearings, activations on my website. I do psychic readings. That's what I do with a lot of you guys too. I do one-on-one phone call sessions with you guys. You can do those reading calls as often as you need them in my shop under readings. I also teach tons of classes like Reiki and Sekhem, and if you haven't taken Reiki or Sekhem, make sure you guys have taken them on my website, and lots of other things. So just go with what you're guided to on my website. If you know you're having a specific issue, I have a nice search bar on my shop. It's how I find anything when people ask me. So you can search certain things and, you know, pull up what I have on there too. I post tons of obviously articles and things like that, like almost daily for you guys lately too, just to help you with your spiritual awakening, ascension, and what is going on with the energies. So check out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. We're doing Ask Angel cards. I also have my books pinned on this video. I haven't been bringing them a lot, but make sure you're reading them in order. It'll take you to that page. I'm going to be getting my next one up for sure within the next couple of months too. I just have to kind of edit it. I always keep saying that. I like to put a little space in between, right? So we're doing Ask Angel cards. If you guys are able to send PayPal donations, sign up and be a supporter, or send stars, please do. It helps to keep this page going. So if you're getting something off of this page, awesome way you guys can give something back and help to support this page if you're loving it. So you send stars, you get a psychic shout out. Other than that, completely random. So make sure you guys have left a comment, shared this out. If you're able to send stars, make sure you do. Good morning, Sam. Angel energy healing. So I love these galactic days. It's like all portals open up. We are being flooded with a lot of cosmic energies, a lot of galactic energies. I feel it's like a good discussion. I'm not very good at this stuff, but maybe we're moving through an area of space where there's a lot of high frequency energy coming into the planet, accelerating things like our energy and spiritual awakening and ascension and state of consciousness on Earth during this time, because we see an awful lot of people, you know, going through a lot of spiritual changes like spiritual awakening and, you know, having a kind of good honing in on like healing and, you know, elevating. And I think we're going through a very heightened area of space. We'll just leave it at that, or receiving a huge burst of energies that are helping to wake us up and help make us better people, hopefully, during this time. But we can also tap into the spiritual easier and easier too. So a lot of you guys might notice that you might get messages in the form of downloads or just psychic feelings, or, you know, maybe some of you guys are very with the third eye, and you might even be seeing psychic visions during this time. Some of you guys might be dreamers, and suddenly, you know, you're getting a message there, or whatever it is. If your angels or spirit guides need to get you a message, they're going to make sure you're getting the message. So maybe you're like, I don't know. You got it. It was coming through your mind and thoughts, and you knew to do something, but you didn't take care of it. They're going to show you in your dreams. They're going to find a way to get that message to you. It could be, and I love this, you could be having a conversation with someone and they could just channel something very important to you. Like, right? They will get you that message, and it could be like something your friend says and kind of gets through to you, or whatever it is too. So during these galactic portal days, we can tap into the spiritual a lot more. That's why some of you guys might be guided to spend a little bit of extra time by yourself right now, maybe resting and integrating the full moon in galactic. It's a Sunday anyway, right? So it's the perfect day for it. Or just making some time for like meditation or connecting with your spirit guides and angels. I think this is the best thing that we can do spiritually, is to strengthen our spiritual connection. And we can do that by directly connecting with it and working with our spirit guides and angels, or even source, or whatever it is too that you're doing to really help to strengthen that spiritual connection. Because when we strengthen it, it gets stronger, right? So needing to kind of work with that too. So this is just your little reminder to work more with your angels. They're here to help you. They're also here to help you through your healing journey and your ascension journey. So you're being assisted with this in a big way too. So this helps you as you're navigating whatever it is coming up in your life, or even your spiritual journey and your spiritual ascension during this time. Just your little reminder, you're not doing this alone. Okay, we're gonna do David Curtin, nurture your physical body. Suddenly we're needing to self-care a little bit more, take care of ourselves and these energies. This is just like if this was a preview or in the preview energies of the movie, like what's going on planet Earth, the jokes aside, right? We're needing to take care of ourselves like never before. It's one thing to do Earth. We've done that many lifetimes, I'm pretty sure, but then we're trying to throw in, an accelerated ascension and whatever's coming up for us. So it's really important just getting down to the basics. I feel a lot of people are going to kind of slow down and get, with things going on the planet, get into the basics, like nurturing your physical body. This could be better foods, vitamins, and detoxing. Suddenly I'm feeling like I gotta detox even more, this shift and things like that. So this could be just like things you're putting into your body or not putting into your body, whatever it is, and kind of cleaning up things like your diet, getting more rest. It could be meditation, it could be clearing your energy, how you're taking care of your physical body. This could be things like getting more nature, getting more sun in your life, or whatever you're really needing or being guided towards during this time. So we're kind of talking about kind of paying attention to your spiritual guidance as to what you need. Like I find that a ton with the work that I do, that sometimes people might be having, like, this is going to sound silly, like a vitamin deficiency, and you might have a healer tell you, take this or do this. And that's how a lot of this work is very intuitive and tapping into and connecting with the other side. So you might have thought you were fine, but you were kind of deficient in a vitamin and it was kind of affecting you and your health and you didn't even know. You think you're fine, and maybe your spiritual guides are going to guide you to take a vitamin or a supplement. And I find that like intuitively about different things that you may need on your journey and things like that. So you might have thought you were fine in this area and your spiritual guides are like, hey, you need to do this. And this is like, it could just be, like I said, getting more rest. And we talk a lot about getting in a good daily routine, and you're kind of, if you guys didn't notice, doing your routine in loop, day in a loop sometimes lately. And sometimes it's just that easy of like what you're doing every single day and how you're taking care of yourself, from the little things we probably do, like taking a shower and brushing your teeth, right? And vitamins or foods and stuff like that. Really how you're spending your time and how you're taking care of yourself. You're really needing to nurture and take care of yourself a little bit better. And I feel that us learning this stuff, it sounds basic, but we're going to get rid of a lot of the old 3D Earth way of doing, which was a lot of like lack and illness and people not doing very good and taking care of our energy and learning how to heal. And then we're going to see this healed society emerge out of this as everyone's learning this stuff too. So just taking better care of your health, wellness. This could be, like I said, just as easy as, getting rid of, bad foods and things or whatever it is. Just take care of your body right now. Give yourself what it needs. We always love to push ourselves. In fact, you're told you should work X amount of hours a week. And it's like, all right, sometimes we reach burnout. Okay, we can't keep going. Even with just the awakening and the ascension, I know a lot of people who literally get taken out of their entire lives and jobs and relationships so they can do this ascension work, because it gets intense, right? At different phases, especially newly awakened people. I see a lot of you guys like literally get like kind of taken out of the whole 3D matrix and into your own little world. And so we know that the energies are on their own are a lot to navigate. And so, maybe you're being told you're supposed to work X amount of hours a week and you can't keep pushing yourself at burnout, or, and maybe this is the thing with ascension. Sometimes you're going to feel really motivated and go, go, go. And sometimes you're going to be like, I can't even get out of bed today, like with these energies, right? And we can't always push ourselves because we're in this culture where we're taught to do more and this is what we do. But with awakening, I don't want to say we're taught to do less. We're taught to do more from a more aligned space of how we're feeling and, what's going on with us and things like that. So just getting aligned and taking better care of yourself, that's like the key to everything in your life, is from alignment. Heather Goodyear. Right, you might be guided to journal. I tell people this, like I have people, I do obviously these sessions with you guys, and I was telling someone the other day, when you guys are having spiritual experiences and things come up, or you're seeing something in your dreams or meditation, or, it could be a vision, or it could be something coming up on your journey or real life, right? Things coming up. And like every experience in your life is like a little puzzle piece to this greater puzzle, but it could be something you're going through. that you might be guided to journal and to really reflect and write things down. In fact, with a lot of some of the sessions I do with you guys, some of them, if they're coaching, I do journaling with you guys and give you guys journaling prompts to help you go deeper within yourself. So this could be literally journaling and writing things down. You could write down all of this would be good for you, negative limiting beliefs that you have and start to get rid of them. You could write down struggles. You could write down good things. I like to give people manifestation journal, right? Where you go write down everything, like your book of dreams or, what you're working on. And so it can be really beneficial to write things down. Number one, for ourselves and our own expansion, but also you're working with your spirit guides and you have 99,000 thoughts a day and they're having a hard time telepathically getting through to you when you haven't done enough of the work. I'm not saying you haven't, I'm just saying humans, right? We have an awful lot of thoughts all day long. Imagine being on the other side of the spirit guides trying to work with you and kind of get through that jumble and things like that. They're trying to send you messages and you were thinking about your 99 problems and it didn't come through. Or you're thinking about your 99 problems and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know what they want. And so when we write things down, we're getting very clear with ourselves and things going on. This could be reoccurring thought patterns or things we're trying to work through or work on. Or just with our spirit guides, you find you start to write that manifesting list and bam, it starts to take it next level and stuff like that. So words are powerful. Writing things down is powerful. Many of you guys are going to probably share your experiences or story or help people through their own awakening, through things you've been through or whatever it is that you're feeling inspired about. We're going to see. This is where I make my jokes about society, and is this where the Renaissance came out last time? We're going to see a lot of people channeling artistic endeavors, whether this is writing and painting or singing or whatever. We're going to see a lot of creativity come out of these energies too, with these surges of energies where you guys are probably feeling guided to get creative on some level. This could be for your own personal development, or maybe you are being guided to write something like a literal novel. It depends, right? I was looking for, when I was writing some of those books, I went and tried to find correspondences. It was from years earlier, from beginning of my awakening, because I didn't realize that some of the things I was sharing about my own experience, especially not doing these videos even, I don't think I could realize the scope of this awakening and how it's affecting the whole planet and things like that. So you have a piece to also, when we talk about these puzzle pieces, you are a piece to a greater puzzle, and your entire life experience and stories and what you've been through, what you may be experiencing now might really help someone else too, in their life or whatever they're going through. And it could just be like, getting open and honest and talking about something that isn't all, 3D, or it could be something greater too, like where you're getting a lot of downloads or information about the awakening or the ascension, and you might feel guided to put it out there. And this could be, like I said, writing a novel, but maybe it's just some of you guys are writing Facebook posts or on social media or blog posts or sharing a piece of yourself, and it might help other people that might be going through stuff or the awakening too. James A. Robin, quiet your ego mind. Okay, so I was doing another video, I'll put it up later, about relationships, but I was talking about the ego, because when we're doing enlightenment, we have to let go of the ego. And this is all of the ego attachment. It could be all of the programming. So when we talk about, and this is what I've been kind of going into, we have a lot of 3D programming, how we see the planet, family conditioning, patterns, and everything that you've been programmed to believe, and how you see the world. So when we have a spiritual awakening, we go through an ego death. Well, one to start, and usually when you guys go into a spiritual awakening, you might have even been through a depressed period, dark night of the soul, losing everything and everyone in your life. Some of you guys might have lost a loved one or been through a lot of trauma, or I see a lot of people waking up from near-death experiences during this time, or spiritual experiences, or whatever it is. And usually when you go through your spiritual awakening, it's having to let go of a lot of things that are no longer aligned. Welcome to that galactic porthole. I put it on that video that sometimes we're getting a little nudge. So if relationships, jobs, versions of ourselves are no longer aligned, we're having to let go of a lot on the ego level, and this could be physically. A lot of times people literally lose everything, and it can feel like you're literally stripped away of everything in your life. Or It could just be, you know, things not going great in your life, rock bottom, right? Rock bottom, dark night of the soul, or whatever it is, or not being happy, not being fulfilled, to get you into this awakening and wanting to change or wanting to heal yourself or finally wanting to work on yourself. So it could be a lot of like karmic cycles and you're getting the same results and your life isn't going good and you're looking for healing and fulfillment or whatever it is that you've been through to get you to this place having this talk. And so when we deal with the ego, it's literally, I don't want to call it your enemy, you know, funny, right? It is literally, it is everything negative that you've been programmed. So when you try to, you got a really good, we're just going to make up something, job interview tomorrow, and it's supposed to be a great opportunity, but you might start to second guess it and be like, you can't do this, you're not good enough, they're not going to hire you. It's the negative chitter chatter that will come up. Now your ego usually likes to hide behind the scenes. You won't even notice it. That's the problem. And so usually it comes up when you're triggered, stirred up, right? Or going through something intense, okay? It's like, mine's quiet right now, but you have one of those bad days, stressful days, something that comes out and triggers you. It's like all the thoughts come, right? And they're not good. Like all the negativity. So your ego really is all of the negative limiting beliefs. It's different than the shadow because that's something different, but we're talking about all the negative beliefs. So if we are manifesting all of our beliefs into reality, so if I sit there and think something is happening to me and I have a lot of negative programming, well, my life looked terrible. You can read about it in my books on here, right? It looked terrible until my spiritual awakening. And that was one of the first realizations I had was like, okay, time to get out of the victim programming. No one's done anything to you but yourself. Okay, literally, you created all of this and probably didn't mean to. And so you start to be like, okay, I have to do that inner work to get rid of all those negative thoughts and beliefs and limiting thoughts that are blocking me and my spiritual progress and my life. And so as you begin to do that, because we talk about reprogramming and letting go of all of the 3D programming so we can ascend into a 5D dimension and state of consciousness and live from that place of alignment, it takes having to face yourself, not anyone else generally, you know, but yourself and your own programming and your beliefs, and kind of do some healing work there. And as you do, your life begins to transform and get better because your actual thoughts are creating your reality, the world that you live in. And so as you heal and begin to get rid of these ego-based beliefs, narratives, stories, whatever it is, that usually love to, when you're asleep, spin you as the victim, but then you're actually the victim in your story every time, and it's not great, right? Like people not treating you well or whatever it is. So we get out of that 3D state of victim consciousness and into this 5D state of alignment, and you begin to really script your, you know, dream life and story of your dreams and better things like that too, because your thoughts are not only directly influencing your reality, they're creating your whole reality as you go. So you might notice you're having thoughts maybe about your job, your marriage, whatever it is, your situation, your life, right? And whatever you're thinking is actually happening. You think someone is doing whatever, they are probably going to play that out in your reality. There's a good chance they may. So it really comes back to ourselves every time, and enlightenment teaches us to change ourselves and to heal ourselves and to work on ourselves to become better versions of ourselves, thus creating better experiences for ourselves and better worlds and things like that too. So as you begin to awaken, you become more aware of some of things you're working through, and we have a lot of deeply held programming blocks and limitations. So yes, this takes work on ourselves, but as we begin to release some of these things, we begin to go a lot higher and do a lot better in our overall lives and realities. And this is where we begin to create better realities, higher timelines, and do a lot better too. So the ego is always like the chitter chatter in your mind that isn't great, like, right? And then when we pull back, we realize we're not the ego. This is a human earth construct, and when you die, it's going, right? So this is a part of us that we may need to heal and integrate, like many other parts of ourselves that can wreak havoc on our life, such as our unhealed shadow aspects or inner child aspects or the ego, right? So it's a part that we actually need to heal and better integrate, we could say. And as we do that, you know, we become more whole and better with it and things like that too, because you're a little bit, as I say, kind of past some of that chitter chatter. And sometimes it's been going unconsciously because you were asleep and not really paying attention, you didn't notice. And then it's not till we awaken, we're like, oh my gosh, okay, my mind's kind of a mess. And that's why I like to compare the mind to the garden, right? They're like, you gotta weed your garden and kind of clean it up and things like that with the limiting thoughts and blocks and stuff like that. So we do a lot of the work and the healing work on also the ego mind. Now there's a lot of things that can help you guys with this stuff. I'm like energy healing on my website, but also meditation will help you, and things like spiritual stuff, right? So things like energy healing will help us with areas of our, we'll say being that we need to heal, but also meditation will help a ton. And not too into this, but I know if you go on Google, you're going to find a ton of research to show meditation will help you with a lot of different, obviously, issues. Ego mind being one of them too, because you ever have those real busy days or chaotic days or maybe a real bad day, right? And your mind is spinning at that point, because I said the ego is fine until it gets triggered. Things not going your way, like whatever it is, right? Interaction not going great. Oh my God, then the thoughts, right? And so you could just be like having a long day and you're kind of in overdrive and you're getting a lot done, but at the end of the day, you might have a hard time going to bed. You've been going right there. And so things like meditation at night, they'll help you to relax. And I know I really need it when I can't get my mind to stop, and it's like you're kind of in overdrive too. So it will help you with these states overall, and I mean long-term benefits and things like that, like with the meditation. So meditation, we can say this is part of our inner world with the ego, right? It's our inner world, and we have to do a lot of work. We talk about doing the inner work and then work on our inner world, which reflects into our outer reality. We're gonna do, so if you have negative thoughts coming up, welcome to being human, right? But also purging them out and cleaning up the mind and the ego will help. Trisha Haybell, thank you for the stars. I always need them. Emotional clearing. And so we talk about clearing, and I'll try to go into this the best I can. Clearing is, and this is a lot of emotions come up. Okay, so when we're dealing with any of these ascension energies, especially like the moon will tend to, like a magnet, kind of suck up aspects that need to be healed. Same with these ascension energies. Like if you have, I'm just making things up, 100 years of karmic baggage and a lot of unhealed, unresolved issues, and you'll say chakra problems, you can't take it with you. Like we love to. We're just going to hide it and act like it's fine, but you won't feel great within yourself sometimes within these energies if you have a lot to heal. And this is why it's working for us, not against us, these ascension energies, to help us during our awakening to better understand our energy and our patterns and maybe things we're all working through. And Earth is a school. It's like we got homework and probably didn't do it for a while. And it's like suddenly we have a lot of the homework to do and things like that, working on ourself and our soul and our spiritual journey. It's meant to help make us better people. And so we have unhealed aspects that sometimes we need to maybe heal and integrate better. And that is the core of many of our personal relationships, helping you to kind of shine a light on issues or karmic things or stuff you need to work on. Now, the thing is with a lot of these ascension energies is they bring things to the surface. So, and this is a solar plexus kind of energy, but within our energy field, we have stored a lot of childhood emotions in our solar plexus. This is most notably you were really upset and you were 6 years old and your parents told you to stop crying and you begin to shove your emotions inside, right? This is what we do. And you were close to tears, but you were at work last week and you were trying to hide it, and so you're not allowing a healthy release because we didn't get taught how to do that. In fact, we were taught to suppress, mask, and avoid our own emotions and things like that. And you'll see that I see a lot of people very uncomfortable with their own emotions or other people's. It's like you'll be, kind of shoving them back inside. And so we have a lot of repressed emotions, and this is where the inner child work comes in and things we didn't deal with because we weren't able to. When you were 5 years old and you were going through X, Y, and Z, you were not able to process that from a child view and things like that. So it's oftentimes we go through a spiritual awakening and this kickstarts a lot of deep healing. I see a lot of times it's processing our entire lifetime or old wounds or old traumas or things being triggered through our current experiences to the surface. So a lot of emotions come up. This is why you're great. You had an awesome week and suddenly someone was saying this to me. Suddenly it's the pink full moon last night and you're feeling quite emotional or heavy energies or lethargic or whatever's coming up for you too. So we're having to clear a lot of old energies because they're contained within us. And then I talk about this is on the energy level, but it's also on the soul level of things we're healing during this time that kind of get kicked up. You got a couple little, your soul is like 99% light, right? But it's got 1% kind of dusty corners and some dark little spaces that you've probably walked through in your lifetime and explored, right? And seen head on in your experiences. But we're also healing things on a spiritual and a soul level and things you need to deal with. And this comes through us. It's filtered through us. Sometimes the healing is going a lot deeper than the energy in the body. We think it is, but it's also on the spiritual soul level too. So energy clearing work is such a necessity because once again, we have a lot of negative thoughts that can come up or negative energies. And I'm seeing a lot of people get spun out. It could be a negative experience come up in your life or something you're dealing with or a breakup or, you know, things that can kick up a lot of negative energy. And then this becomes karmic energy, any negative energy in our life that we didn't deal with. You never, like we talk about, I'm going to the notion of karma, but in reality, it isn't like you deserved anything negative you've been through in your life. It's created by negative energies we haven't dealt with. So when we begin to learn how to better deal with our energy and clear negative energies, we begin to get rid of karma and experience less karmic stuff in our life and stuff like that, right? And so keeping your energy clear, that's something I talk about almost every video with you guys to try to teach you guys that or help you with where you're at. And you know, that's what I do literally on my website. It's like help you guys deal with, I was explaining this as someone, help you guys to raise your frequency and deal with energies and things like that that you need to deal with. So keep your energy clear. This might just be a little message you need an energy clearing at this point. It can be normal. You guys will know when you need it too because you're maybe feeling out of alignment or you're having a lot come up. Cree, infinite possibility. And I love this because we live in a multiverse. So we think of it as a universe. I was going to say universe, but we really live in a multiverse where anything that you could think is possible. So say you have you might think it's a far-fetched dream, but generally you're shown certain visions by spirit to kind of keep you in alignment or on track. So you might feel that it's a manifestation and it feels a little bit like a pipe dream. You don't know if it's going to happen or if you can accomplish it or how things are going to go. And just knowing that sometimes you're shown things to keep you, I'm just trying to keep you on track with it. And so even though you might feel like, I don't know if I can accomplish this or what, Spirit has usually shown you future timelines for a reason. There is always a universe where it is possible. Anything that you want exists and you've already accomplished it. And so sometimes how we truly manifest is we want to kind of set our destination like it's a GPS in your car, right? But also to be in alignment with what we're asking for. So sometimes we might not be in the right frequency for it, or we might be repelling it, or maybe it's not something we're capable of holding on the energy level or, you know, sustaining or whatever it is. And so sometimes our manifestations have a lot to do with our energy and alignment and making things happen. We are shifting in and out of these timelines in your everyday life. You're literally shifting in and out of realities and even other planets. This can get complicated. And so sometimes as you're raising your frequency, you're kind of literally going through some of these huge quantum shifts and leaps and timeline jumps. And, you know, you're opening up through healing yourself and doing this activation and ascension where you're able to really shift into these higher destined timelines that you hold within your DNA blueprint and template. But a lot of people don't fully activate themselves and, you know, play out their potential. But as you're healing yourself, the more you raise up your vibrational frequency, the more that you're going to experience in a very, very positive way too. So sometimes we feel kind of tiny as humans and like, I don't know if I can do this and things are working out. This is where connecting with the divine comes in and, you know, working with source and trusting source and following our guidance and making things happen, whether it's, you know, taking necessary steps or even risks or whatever it is we're being guided to do to get there. If we have, you know, some type of vision or blueprint or something we know we should be kind of playing out, it just kind of depends too. So our ego mind, which we're talking about a lot today because things are being triggered to yield to the surface, loves to see everything in black and white of like, this will, people always say, is this gonna work or is this not gonna work, right? Yes or no. It's like black or white. And it's like, in reality, there's such a spectrum of options and timelines and the way things can go. So we love to go to the negative. Like, this isn't going to work out. Nothing will ever work out, right? I don't know. I can't do this. It's like very negative programming that we might have to bypass or heal or reprogram ourselves towards the positive. And when you start to expect positive outcomes and things to work out and align, they will. That easy. So we've been blocking ourselves, expecting negative outcomes a ton. So the second we can just shift to being more positive, whether it's just your day-to-day, places you want to go, what you're going to do, things will start to play out in a more positive way. And you're going to have so many more positive potentials, outcomes, and even realities come out of that too. So a lot of this is coming back down into the inner work and things like that. So trusting the universe isn't going to show you something if you're not meant to go there or make it happen too. The universe kind of gives you what you need to make things happen. Let's do Erica Rivera. Cleanse and shield your energy. We are very sensitive to outside energies, and all the energies coming into the planet, they amplify our frequency, how we're feeling, our thoughts, and things going on within our own field. So you're having one of those, not saying today, but in general, you're having one of those rough days, you're starting to really level 10 feel it and be spun. You're having a great day, you're feeling euphoric and bliss and enlightenment and all the good things, right? And so I think this is why it's very important that we are learning daily practices like staying in gratitude, focusing on anything going okay in our lives, right? Acceptance, right? And surrender, acceptance, staying in gratitude, focusing on things that make us happy and stuff like that, because we're seeing these are ultimate amplifier energies. And yeah, you know, we're humans, we deal with some stress and worry. We're not going to go there again. But when we can shift to a more positive energy state, this is what our journey is requiring. And so we see a lot of people that maybe aren't doing the work, extra stressed and a little bit more worried. But for those of you guys that are being guided to do this healing and ascension work, remember that you're healing yourselves, you're helping with the collective and the collective energies and the rest of the planet too. So staying more positive is going to help you a ton. Make sure that you're cleansing, shielding, and protecting your energy. I've found lately that we're learning lessons in Libra, Pink Moon last night, right? In boundaries. And this could be setting healthy energy boundaries with your friends, relationships, whatever it is, will help you with your own energy and, you know, things like that. So it's okay to say no to things that are no longer aligned with you, or to limit, you know, your time in toxic connections that'll make you feel a lot better. But you might be an empath, and a lot of times empaths are very sensitive to different energies. It could be other people's frequencies, your job, whatever, the matrix and low frequency places. And so we're always absorbing a lot too. So sometimes we're having to learn how to take better care of our energy and clear our energy and shield and protect our energy and things like that too. So once again, energy clearing, take care of your energy. For this person, let's see, we're going to do Laurel White. Relationship harmony. This is my jam lately, especially with that Libra full moon that we're still in today. We're still feeling it. That was a micro moon, but I was thinking we were feeling that one real strong, right? It's supposed to be a mini moon, but all right, we're feeling it still. But we have a lot of themes coming up, even over the past couple of years, but especially within that Libra, it's shining a light on relationships and partnerships. I was kind of scrolling on my feed and I could see some people maybe going through, you know, karmic relationship breakups, which might be a part of it, or shifting into even higher. I love to talk about twin flame unions and healing yourself and our relationships helping us to integrate and heal certain issues we might have, or blocks or patterns, and it could be shadow, inner child, however we're attracting these things. But as you're doing that healing work, your relationships are going to get better. And that's some of the motivation, as they are mirroring different aspects that, you know, we might need to, as I said, kind of integrate, or helping us to defragment, or whatever purpose they are serving. Every one of your relationships has served a purpose. And as you're healing, you're going to have healthier connections and things like that too. But this is also balance. So sometimes, unfortunately, our relationships can show us areas that we need to heal. They might trigger old wounds that are very painful, or show us ways that we're out of alignment or better need to integrate our energies and things like that. And so they're here to teach us or show us things about ourselves, and we're needing to stay balanced. Even in the healthiest connections, you're trying to balance yourself with this relationship, right? And so I know it's like you're needing to balance your time and what you're doing, and so sometimes in unhealthy connections, we can lose ourselves in these relationships. Like maybe you're giving all of your time to this person or this relationship and none to yourself, and then this can lead to, I talk about self-abandonment and neglect and things like that. Then we don't feel great, and it reflects in the relationship in different ways. So even in the healthiest connections, we're needing to learn how to balance, especially with the awakening and ascension happening, for healthier connection. But I see a lot of you guys learning how to do that from maybe some karmic connections of your past. They taught you valuable lessons about like yourself, relationships, whatever it is too. So the solution to have a better, healthier connection is to actually be in inner alignment with ourselves. And I know this is going to bring healthy energy into our connection. You're feeling level tired, drained, stressed for whatever reason. You're not going to be showing up very good in your relationship. You're going to carry that energy into your relationship and probably rub off on your partner if they were great, and if they're not, even more so. So also the energy that we're bringing into any situation, whether our job or our relationship, but especially our partnerships, is going to be really, really important and things like that. As people absorb energy, you don't have to say anything. You're bringing a frequency. Say you had we talked about rough time at work and you're very stressed and purging everywhere. You go hang out with anyone, they're going to be kind of, in that same state afterwards, absorbing that energy. So the energy that we carry is so, so important, whether this is a love message, but whether it's at our job, our friendship, relationships that we're navigating. And as humans, we learn how to navigate many dimensions of connection. So our energy first is really, really important, that we're taking care of ourselves to bring healthier energy forward into our relationships. Because the more you're in alignment, you're going to bring that energy of alignment into your relationship. And if your relationships are mirrors of aspects that, we might have unhealed stuff or healed stuff, it's going to reflect back where you're at within your own energy at all times. So your energy is a very important part of this too. Maybe you're someone wanting to heal some type of something in your relationship, or just looking for more balance or more love in your relationships. Just kind of depends. This is going to come back to how imbalanced you are with yourselves. So Libra is like getting back into alignment and balance with ourselves with this moon energy. Some type of relationship healing work that you might be doing or you're being guided through during this time. Julie Weeb, good morning. Love your challenges. I feel like I don't use the word Hunger Games, sort of, right? We are like in this little place we call life, right? And sometimes you get thrown to test challenges, blocks to see what you're about, right? And where you're at, right? But even your challenges and things that might arise, and this could be delays, blocks, obstacles whether within our own field or, in our outer reality, but sometimes they point back to our own field as we're talking about. So you could be going through something in your life, but usually it can point back to things about yourself. So as we begin to do that energy work that I keep trying to get you guys to do on my website, and clear blocks and limitations and open up your energies and go into these higher frequencies, less of this. So if we do have like challenges coming up or, things going on in life, welcome to Earth, that happens. But as you take care of your energy and clear things, you'll have less of it coming up. So outer reality block equals inner blocks and things we might need to work on too. But as you're taking better care of your energy within and clearing your chakras, you guys should all be working on healing your chakras. I was reminding someone this morning, we have many lifetimes of healing we're doing, not just this lifetime. This is a very small piece of the puzzle, so we carry a lot. And in my book number 2, I write about, we picked up our chakra system straight from our parents, and we know they weren't very great because many generations had been not really doing the work energetically. We picked up a lot of intergenerational trauma and chakra blocks, right? Welcome to birth, right? And coming into the planet. So we picked up a lot of, negative programming, not to pick, and blocks and things we needed to work through right from that system that we inherited or picked up. And so when we go through a spiritual awakening, we're guided to really do that chakra work. And this is important too, especially if every illness, imbalance, this could be mental, well, not like that, but, mind imbalances, health imbalances, problems in our outer reality. It could be anything from relationship problem, money block, thought patterns, illness, all points back to the chakras. So as we, with our spiritual awakening, begin to better take care of our energy system and our chakras and unblock all of this stuff, guess what? oh my God, we don't have any of those problems anymore, to go away. And so a lot of the problems that we might face individually or collectively kind of all pinpoints back to our energy and energy centers. So as we learn to, really work through any chakra blocks, imbalances, areas we need to heal on the chakra level, all of this stuff kind of dissipates, because as we're dissolving through those blockages and issues, it dissipates, right? And things like that. And from our life too, because a lot of this, we might say, a lot of times people notice, I'm having some challenges or problems, and it's more the outer reality, not realizing that we can shift that from within, shifting our energy too. So for you, taking care of your chakras will really, really help. Remember, we're clearing out many, we'll say blockages or imbalances that we might have, had for a long time, and even previous lifetimes too, because we do bring sometimes past life trauma and things into here. Okay, so I have Francisca. Manifestation. We're in a huge manifestation gateway. I was thinking that about the pink full moon last night. Today's Galactic Activation Portal Day. It's supercharging what you're putting out there. And so a lot of times we're manifesting anyway. So even if we're really, I would say, asleep and not aware of it, you're thinking all day long and it's going out there and you're putting it out. You're putting intentions out there. And we're like, what? I had 9,000 thoughts today. I was kind of on autopilot. We call that asleep. I was on autopilot, wasn't paying attention to any of them, right? I'm just kind of putting stuff out there. It's like a supercomputer, the universe, quantum supercomputer. And I was just kind of putting stuff out there. I wasn't paying attention, but you're putting it out there anyways. And all of your thoughts are creating your reality and the energies that you're putting out there. And so we can really set our intentions in a more conscious, intentional way, and it'll be better. Whether it's just getting a vision of the life you want, something you're trying to manifest, it could be anything. It could be I'm gonna make up stuff, speedboat, new car, new house, anything. And the good news is, in these higher energies, we're able to magnetize things faster and faster, and materialize things and manifest things and get a little better at this. So we're unconsciously manifesting, separation and suffering for ourselves generally in the 3D, a lot of trauma and traumatic experiences. As we wake up and realize, oh, okay, I'm actually creating all of this. I'm the creator of my life and everything that happens in it. We start to get a little more switched on and better at it. And so this could be, I was trying to think of an easy way to tell someone this morning about manifesting. You could just be praying and putting out there things you need, things you want, things you're trying to manifest. You could use visualization and picture it like it's already in your life, and picture how it feels to have this, if it's an object or something or whatever you're trying to work on. This could be anything. It could be your dream job, your dream relationship. It could be something material, whatever it is. And you're going to notice things are coming very, very fast in these higher energy gateways. So we want to put our intentions out right now today, still with that pink full moon, and they're going to really blossom and bloom over the next couple of months. We're actually in the unless you're in Australia, but we'll go into that. But if you're here in the northern part of the world, we're actually in the height of the spring, and it's supposed to be that time where all of this energy blossom and blooms the earth and brings things back to life. And so it's a major manifestation energy. So what you're putting out there is going to manifest into your life regardless over the next couple of months. So this is why we're going to take care with our thoughts and make these energies work for us, and kind of put out there and get more intentional about what it is that we desire. I think a lot of our lives of things not going great right over the past taught us a lot about getting into our higher alignment and what we actually want at this point, though. I think they were valuable lessons, and maybe you saw things you didn't want, right? or that didn't align, of getting you switched on and kind of getting clear. I see that as something happening in a positive way out of this awakening, getting kind of clear of what we want, what we desire, because that's part of setting the intention for something. It could be anything. Maybe, some of you guys want something in your life or whatever it is. Make sure that you're praying, asking for it, working with the universal energies, and setting these intentions and putting it out there. You are all day long with your thoughts anyway, but I mean in a positive way, right? Start to focus on what you want and build a momentum. This can help us stay, lit up and excited about something. I find when I don't have any passion or goals, I'm kind of going through the motions. And when I have maybe like a goal or destination or something I'm working on, I can work on that and kind of bring it through. And when it comes through, I can figure out maybe something else I want or want to align with. And this could be anything. It could be something within yourself or something material or whatever it is. It could be something that you need. I find that when you need something, it comes through immediately. Or it just kind of depends on the size of the manifestation, the price tag too, right? The price tag size of the manifestation, if you're like needing it instantly, you could find that you need something immediately and you know it comes right through, or it just kind of depends on what it is that you're working on or manifesting. And you know, you start to get better at it and kind of build a momentum when you realize this stuff works. Like I remember when I first woke up and trying to manifest something and, you know, having it happen. And, you know, the universe is such a place of magic. You'll get some momentum behind it and you'll figure out, okay, this stuff works. My thoughts are making things happen. Okay, and putting it out there. But, you know, you could just use prayer, visualization, meditation, tweaking your thoughts, whatever it is, to stay focused on your goals and making things happen. Okay, I'm going on that note. Anyways, enjoy your Sunday. Make sure you guys are resting up if you do need it. Some of you guys might be feeling tired. Maybe some of you guys have a lot of energy. Just kind of depends on where you're at. But today's a great day to tap into the spiritual and kind of reflect, or tapping into the energies. I'm doing tons of, sorry, I see the thing, healings and activations on my website. So I'll be around doing energy healings because I know you guys probably need them after the full moon, right? I am here tapping into these galactic energies. If you're feeling a little tired, just needing a boost, or just wanting to activate something, great energies for it. I don't remember everything on my site, but you can always do anything on my website. Anyways, I know I have a lot of galactic upgrade stuff today. So I'll be doing healings. If you need me, check out my website. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.